Stuff only looks good up close.
A fantastic run.
Absolutely.
Did I just get a job?
So you decided to join up with these crazies, eh?
You ready?
You're lucky because you're white. You can go anywhere.
Can't you at least pretend to be scared?
I don't date photographers. You keep terrible hours. And you're crazy. And then there's some bad stuff too.
This is Edward Douglas from ComingSoon.net. I am here with actor Taylor Kitsch, who you might know from Friday Night Lights, or you might know him as Gambit from Wolverine.
There you go.
And next time you're going to know him for a lot more movies. So today I'm here to talk to him about Steve Silver's The Bang Bang Club. And it's a really interesting movie, very timely. And then you play, yeah, I mean crazy timely almost. Yeah, you play a photographer named Kevin Carter, a real person who was basically in South Africa shooting a lot of what was going on during the end years of apartheid.
First free election.
Yeah, it was basically he was a big guy. He was a very well known photographer. He had some Pulitzer Prize, and the Bang Bang Club kind of follows the later years of the Bang Bang Club.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting role because first of all, Kevin Carter, being a real person but no longer being alive.
Yeah.
You're kind of what was your into this movie? Like, how did they contact you, and what was?
I got the script just after Wolvie, and I had one day to get my butt to LA and basically pitch myself for the role. And the script, of course, was really great, and the story is like no other that I've ever come across as an actor as a character piece and just as a true story in its own right. And then the stakes are just super high. So I came across it just the way I guess you do in Hollywood. Your agent calls and goes, "I got the next role you want." And we always are looking for that true gritty piece. And this is really just a dream role.
What was, was there a lot of research involved? Was there a lot of video of Kevin you could watch? Or?
I didn't, unfortunately. He was a DJ as well, a radio, and which I was dying to get those tapes.
Oh, right.
Man. That would have been just huge, and we were scouring for those, and I couldn't find any. So there's one little clip of his accent, and while losing the weight, I'd run with it and just listen to the cadence or whatnot. That was a lot, and then just the physical, and there's obviously the documentary. And if I want to learn anything about you or anybody out there, the first people I'm going to go to is his family, your family or your best friends you grew up with or that have seen him at his lowest too. So, so you just draw these choices from them, and then you get your script and. You go a lot on just the research and then there's the technical part of the Leica and enveloping yourself with that. So.
Great. By the way, you got this on tape now that Taylor Kitsch is going to play me in my biopic.
Really?
About me. Yeah, you just made the offer, so I'll hold it up to you because you look a lot better than I did 20 years ago. So
nice.
Actually, more than 20 years ago, I think. So So do you get in touch with Greg as well? Because Greg obviously wrote the book and he was able to.
Absolutely. I mean, you read the book about a dozen times. Well, I did at least. And then you get to say, you do your thing, or I did my thing in LA, shout out a photographer, and then you take the Leica back home, you learn by your mistakes, then you get to South Africa, Joburg, and then you talk to Greg, and you talk to Zhao, and I keep the choices very simple, and you just want to learn the main attributes that I did. And the question was if you can really describe Kev in 5 words or less, and that's a big thing, for me it was, and it validated a lot of my gut instincts of how I wanted to play him and show the full spectrum of who Kev was.
And what about research for playing photographer? I mean, did you have any kind of photography experience yourself, or?
I was very intimidated by it. I think we're so spoiled nowadays with these cameras. You can pick it up, put it on automatic.
Of course,
and
yeah.
It's like, oh, that was beautiful. Let's go. It's like they'll do everything for you. But these film cameras, man, it's a lot different, and reloading and loading while you're getting shot at on the run, quite literally, is another art in its own. So we did that, and I shadowed a photographer, and I had the Leica with me for months, and that's just learning by, making mistakes and shooting roll after roll of seeing what's working, what's not. And it's funny, you create your own style, you create, the timing of it, and just how you want to even, holding the camera is a certain thing too. Any photojournalist will tell you once you have a camera, if you know how to shoot a picture, is how you're holding it. So it was great just to learn all these little tools and become. You have to do them just so incredibly redundant that it's unconscious.
Did Steven use any of your photographs in the movie at all? Any of your photographs end up in the movie?
I was always shooting film,
Oh, yeah.
so I got quite enveloped with all that. So it was I was always waiting, and the beauty with film is, and I think it's a great thing of waiting for it.
Oh yeah.
And of course you get antsy, but it's like, oh, I can't wait to get my work back, because we got that validation right away on our cameras now. But
of course, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was always shooting, and I've blown up a couple pictures. The Molotov cocktail scene, which is part of a montage, I was lucky. I mean, it was beautiful light. That's the best time to shoot when the sun's going down. Just the softer light, and I had this guy running after one of these military trucks, and I blew up that picture and put it on my wall.
Oh wow!
I mean, you're taking so many shots as well. I'm just thinking of it now. Just I can't really do much with it because we're shooting dead bodies and kids being
Right.
slayed, and so it's like I don't want to do much with these pictures.
Yeah.
But there's some beautiful shots of just Africa that we got as well. I'd have my camera and rolls always with me.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I loved it.
And one of the things that the film deals with, and especially involving Kevin, is the ethical. Because these guys were obviously. I mean, there's importance to having people there to capture the stuff on film, obviously. But there was a question about whether or not, whether they should be doing something instead, or they should be just capturing what's there. What are your own feelings about that? I mean, obviously you've never been in that kind of setting.
Exactly. I mean, obviously I'm biased, being very, still feel part of that whole little family we had, and all the research. But it's an endless debate, man. It really is. And everyone has their own moral ground they're going to stand on and motivation of why they're there and taking these pictures. But to me personally, I think, there's also a side note of just in the sense of these guys and what's making the news now, and what's I think always going to make the news is, and one negative always outweighs 50 positives, they say in this industry, and so many.
Right.
Of just like, you're never going to see the guys or hear about the photojournalists that pulled the kid out.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be this big.
Right.
In a news cast, so it's always the negative stuff, and these guys do, and they have incredible stories as well of actually being in the right place and taking these and helping these soldiers and Zhao pulling these guys out. But there's also a thing to be said of being this vigilante photojournalist that's like, when does it stop? If I'm grabbing this gun, shooting these guys, taking the picture, or doing this thing, it's like it's a bit ridiculous, and you're also sacrificing and putting other people in harm's way. There's got to be a line and a trust there that these people know what they're doing. Obviously, with Ken Usbrook's ordeal of how he passed, was he shot friendly fire. Right. So you lose trust with the people around you. But there's also got to be a fine line within it,
Well, you mentioned, of course, Ken. It's one of these things. I mean, right now in the news, there's like a terrible story about a bunch of photographers who died or killed in Libya, and it's one of those things that it's like, but it is. You feel it is important. It is important to have them there.
It's incredibly relevant. Yeah. And I think this film will at least hopefully showcase that the sacrifice these guys make and continue to make, and it's going to be, sadly relevant because these wars keep breaking out, and these guys will be there. Believe it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now we mentioned at the top, and next summer you have an amazing summer. I mean, you have two movies that are just like
exciting.
John Carter. First of all, both movies are also been very hidden because they haven't been they're still next summer.
I like it, by the way.
What's that?
That's the way we want it.
I don't know if you saw Morgan Spurlock's movie yet, but Peter's in there with a copy of Battleship on his table, very strategic.
Really?
Yeah, it's very funny. I saw that. So I mean, these movies are. I mean, John Carter's a pretty amazing thing because that's a book that's been around for ages.
100 years.
100 years, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So what's it like playing John Carter? Is like I know it's gonna be like a period piece. It's gonna be.
Do you?
I think I know that. I didn't get to go to the set, but I know someone went to the set, so I do know that.
Okay.
But what's been like has it been what's been like kind of playing that kind of a role, like someone who's like
love it, man. I love the challenge, and Stanton has wrote something very special, and as an actor to be that guy and to take the helm and work it and be collaborative with him through this process has been a dream, and I'll get his coffee tomorrow. Truly, man, this guy is just a special cat, and we work and coincide very well together. and hopefully there'll be many more films to shoot with him. I don't know, the arc of John Carter, there's a very, and you'll see it in the trailer, a very strong heartbeat to this film, and he's an incredible storyteller. And as much as like the stigma with these grandeur films and all this, that they're nothing but explosives and just the odd punchline, this is way more relationship driven than, and so are the books.
Okay, yeah.
So, and he's very true to that. Even with I'm giving a lot away. No, that's all I'll say. It's an exciting thing.
But have you been like doing ADR? Have you been able to see some of the footage? Like,
Oh, yeah,
obviously when you're on
I've
set.
seen the trailer. I know the tone of the film. I've seen the ending of the film. I've seen. I mean, it's.
So you've been able to see some stuff as it going. Because obviously.
No, I mean, I went and shot Battle, and then I came back, and now I've seen a bunch of pieces, and I'm very proud of it. You know, it's something nobody's. Again, I'm giving you guys so much.
Well, it's coming soon.
I know, but still, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
And no, it's something no one's really seen before, and that is just a fact.
Have you done Comic-Con yet? Is Comic-Con?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. So this year, this year, you're
I
probably.
don't know.
I have a feeling this year you're gonna have to do
Nothing
something.
I'm sure they'll bring me down. I don't know really. I haven't heard anything official. Put it that way.
Okay. And yep. And I also want to ask about Gambit because I know obviously I mean. I thought you were great. I think that people who love comics thought you were perfect for the role.
Thank you.
And it was a little strange movie to introduce you. But have you had any word from Fox or anyone whether or not they want to bring you back or have you come back?
I haven't heard rumors. I mean, there's strong rumors a while ago, but I haven't had or seen anything tangible. Anyways, I know if we do it, it'll probably be down the road, and we'll do it hopefully a lot darker.
Yeah. Well, Lauren's been talking about doing like another X-Men movie. Like, and I figure, I mean, that if you just.
I mean, I'd love to play him again. It's just a matter of doing it right, too. You know, there's no point in just doing it for the sake of doing it. You got to kill it if you're gonna do it. So, we'll see. You know.
Have you had a chance to meet Anna Paquin yet? Have you had a chance to meet Anna Paquin?
haven't,
Oh, because I was say if you meet Anna Paquin,
I'm sure people will. Apparently.
Yeah. I think if you meet her, you have to say, "Oh, by the way, I'm Gambit." So you're.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Good luck with this film. It's like, again,
Yeah,
a
thank you.
great time for this movie to come out.
Yeah. Very relevant.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, man.